Hi, my name is Lynn Munsinger. I'm a product manager on the Oracle JDeveloper team. This session's about creating JPA applications. I'll focus on some of the more declarative features of JPA and EJB application development, including creating the service facade and also a web application declaratively using ADF. So I'll start by creating a new application, and I'll use an application template, Java EE Web App template. I'll create entities based on tables. And this just walks me through a wizard so that I can create JPA entities based on tables in my HR schema. And what I get out of this are entities for departments and employees, where all of the columns in my tables have been mapped to their appropriate Java types. And I also get kind of a select all query. In this case, I'm adding my own named query to the employees object. I'll call it find by det. And I'll return a collection of employees for a particular department. And I'll pass in an argument of the dept. Right, so then I can create a session bean based on these entities and all the business logic I've implemented. I'll make sure to include the named query that I just created. So I'll get a method for that. And then if I want to modify the session bean, I can do so declaratively in a dialog, or I could of course write code. So I'll just add a little logic in to accept the dept argument as a string. And my bean is complete and ready to test. So in order to test it, I just right click and choose Run in order to run it in the WebLogic server integrated in JDeveloper. And then I can right click and create a sample Java client, which is a great way to easily unit test any business logic that you've added to the session facade. So I can run the test client, and I get back exactly what I would expect. I see a list of employees for that department, and I see that my object relational mapping was done properly. So then I'm ready to create the user interface for this session bean, and I'm going to create a JSF page, but you could create any type of client that you prefer. Since I'm using ADF, I don't have to write a bunch of backing beans. I just drag and drop from the data control palette to bind ADF faces components to my underlying session bean. So in this case, I'm binding a parameter form so that the user can enter a value for the dept argument in the named query. And the method will be bound to the button already, so I can just add some visual modifications to the form as necessary. And then to add the return collection of employees from the method, I use the same gesture. I just drag and drop, define the components I want to bind to, and then set properties. So to test that, I run the application in the integrated server. The JSF page comes up in my browser, and then I can enter the department that I'm after, test out that named query, and indeed I get back the employees for department 100. So if you need further information or have further questions, be sure to check out the OTN link listed here.